Well, hey, your friends. Hope you're well. Been quite a while. I'm kind of sort of back. For those of you who've just stumbled into this for this Fender Redondo Mini short review, just a short demonstration and review. I have been going through cancer treatment. I just had a major surgery where they replaced my tongue with a flap. 80% of my tongue is gone. I have my neck reconstructed. So there's a whole lot of mess. I'm not going to worry about that. Let's just move ahead. Hopefully it won't be too much of a distraction. And I haven't touched this, by the way. For those of you that watch the channel, you know I usually do a lot of stuff either during the review or before or after, and I tell you, but I haven't done anything to this. Not a thing. Haven't changed the strings. Haven't done literally anything except put a sticker right here that came off my neck that says no pressure, which is a whole other story. So I got this guitar, as a matter of fact. Let me just show it to you here. I got this while I was recuperating. I ended up being in the hospital for quite a bit longer than we had anticipated. Did not bring a guitar with me. Was pretty down in the dumps with all of the stuff that was done. And for a couple $100, I figured I couldn't go wrong. On Amazon, got it the next day. And I'm not going to go through much of the specs. I may put stuff up here. It's a mini guitar. It's $200. It's far less than any of your Baby Taylors or anything like that you might buy if you're interested in the high end of this market, right? But here's why I'm doing this video. Just to see if I can still talk well enough to get things across. But also, I don't think Fender's video of this, their official video of the Redondo, there's some amazing players. Don't get me wrong. The playing on there is really great. Way better than you're going to see me do here in a second. But I don't think the sounds were great. Looks like they used the 87. Great mic. I'm sure they had great pre's and whatever. But I just don't think they took the time to track that stuff as if they were needing to use this for an album. And obviously, this is not a full-size acoustic. It's going to sound way different. I have an old Hohner, can't say that word very well yet, that I picked up in a pawn shop like 25 years ago. That's my main acoustic. It's right back there. You can see it. It's not precious. It gets beat around the studio, but it's been on more records that I've done than any other acoustic I have, even though I have some, nothing super high-end, but I have a couple very nice acoustics, and I have access to lots of acoustics through friends. I just use this one most of the time. It's a Martin Lawsuit air guitar. Plays great, sounds great. But today, and thinking I might do a little video about this, I put up a Royer 121 and this 414, which is a C12 capsule. So admittedly, a lot of microphone power, like, much, 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 much more than this guitar costs. But it doesn't matter what it costs, right? It's just a question of, is it an instrument that can do me good? It did me lots of good on my backpack and tooled around the hospital and during that stay. There are problems with any mini guitar in terms of how it sits in a mix. This one, I'll tell you right now off the bat, because once I start playing this sound clip, I'm just going to let it roll today so I can get this up quickly. I had to cut 10 dB at 322, and I'm using just a Logic EQ, channel EQ, and so my Q is set at 2.3, just in case you're wondering, and some other EQ. But the rest of the EQ that I did wasn't anything out of the ordinary compared to, what I might do on any other acoustic. Depends on the song, right? So I've just recorded a clip in here. It's a stereo clip, Royer, and this 414 through, the UAD preamps. I think I'm using a Neve on one, API on the other. So yeah, that stuff is good, and it certainly helps, but you would hope to have those things on any session, right? You wouldn't just use a cheap preamp and a cheap mic if you were in the studio because you had a cheap guitar. And they didn't do that either. They used an 87, very expensive mic. But I just didn't think the sound was great. I don't think they tried to do it justice, or maybe they were trying to make it sound like it sounds in the room. I'm not really sure. I love it in the room. It sounds like a small guitar, but I can sing over it as I'm trying to practice my singing again. And it's not terribly loud, but it's not terribly quiet. It's very well balanced. I don't know, for a couple $100, I'm very happy with my purchase, and it has a bit of a sentimental attachment. So the fret ends, they could probably use about 10 seconds of a little steel wool, getting a bit of rough edge off that, but it hasn't bothered me enough to do it. And I've had this guitar now for 3.5 months. And I play it almost every day, even though I'm surrounded by lots of guitars and acoustics. This is the one that's been sitting in the living room, right? So, I didn't spend an incredible amount of time. I just put the mics up that I know from past acoustic sessions work well together, right? That's kind of a big deal too, in my opinion. I also did a quick demo of a single mic, just this 414, which is my mic that I use for lots of recording, doing the Hohner on one side and this on the other side, just doubling. And for doubling, it's great because it carries a lot of energy in places that a dreadnought or some other style of acoustic might not. Tuning is good all the way up the neck. So if you're looking for a mini and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you should consider one of these guys. There's actually a couple models I probably would have gotten just for the way they kind of look and the vibe they gave off, but they weren't available for the next day delivery, and I was jonesing for a guitar. So anyway, thanks for all the support. Thank you for all the kind words, and hopefully I'll be around for a while and can do more of these little quick shots as well as some longer in-depth reviews. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.